You're listening
You're listening
to another episode
of the FreshTakes
podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, what is up? It is Tank from the Fresh Takes podcast, your favorite, which I already know, because at the end of 2023-2024 season, we're going to have our awards again, and I know I'm going to win this year. I just know it. I might not win any of the other awards, but let me tell you, I'm going to win the favorite co-host. But it is Friday. Don't forget, we got all kinds of things rolling out. We got Tim testing Tim's knowledge is Sunday. Something that he said he has something working on testing our knowledge. Well, not our knowledge, but testing his knowledge on us. So we'll see how that goes and how well he does. Other than that, we will get right into it. This is going to be something kind of different a little bit. It's not food related. Um, I'm a huge WWE fan. I love wrestling, and so we're going to go with my top 10 favorite WWE Intercontinental Champions. That's right, the Intercontinental Championship. Now, I'm going to pop up a logo design of what it's kind of gone through the years of it, so you can see that. But my favorite is honestly the uh, oval one, and you will see it worn by Umaga, which is an honorable mention. I'm gonna go ahead and get my honorable mentions out of the way. I got Umaga, Santina Marella, and William Regal. Those are my three honorable mentions. But we'll get right into it. Number 10. Number 10 is none other than J-E double F J-A double R-E double T Jeff Jarrett double J. So I didn't really watch Jeff Jarrett when I grew up into wrestling. I had to go back and watch a lot of his on Peacock or the WWE Network or YouTube. But I did like a lot of his work. I'm not a fan. I'm not a super fan of his, but I will say I liked his Intercontinental runs that he's had. So yeah, number 10 is Jeff Jarrett. Number nine. Number 9 is none other than Hunter Hearst Helmsley. That's right, Triple H. It's time to play the game. So, yeah, I don't know what it is, but he was. I don't. I liked him as the Intercontinental Champion. Again, he started his very first run. I didn't get to really be involved with because of not really understanding wrestling and not being into wrestling. But I went back and watched a lot of his stuff, and the guy can work. No hands down, he can, and he'll definitely. I mean, he's already in the Hall of Fame with DX and that. But Triple H is awesome. We'll get right into number 8. Number 8. Let's just go ahead and say Edge. Number 8 is Edge, and I feel this kind of helped him solidify as a singles competitor. Not saying there was anything wrong with him as a singles or a tag team. A lot of people know him as a tag team when it was him and Christian, but I think him stepping out on his own to be a singles competitor, I think this helped him solidify to being okay. Let's actually take him serious. So yeah, number 8 was Edge. Number 7, Viva la Raza. Ala, Achi, Astil. That's right. It's none other than Eddie Guerrero. And so yeah. I mean, what else can I say? It's just Eddie Guerrero, one of the greatest workers of all time. Um, I Miss him. I wish he was still around. I know, Dominic Mysterio pays a lot of tribute to him, and I know Rey Mysterio still does. Um, but Eddie Guerrero was, one of the greatest of all times. Sad to see him go at the time he did, but he was really really respected in the business. Number 6. Number 6 is the ninth wonder of ninth woman of the wonder. Oh my gosh, I can't even speak right now. But it's just China. Um, so yeah, number 6 was China, and I'm sorry for being a woman in this kind of business and industry. It's fantastic, and it's great that she was able to hold a title other than the 24/7 championship or the hardcore championship. That she got to hold a actual male dominant title, which is the Intercontinental title. So props up to her, and rest in peace, China. Definitely miss her. So yeah, China was definitely a great champion. I also feel. Number 5. Number 5. If you can't do it the right way, then you just can't be this guy. Mr. Perfect was perfect. So number 5 is Mr. Perfect. He is the perfect Intercontinental Champion, if you want to use it that way. But if not, I understand. But no, Mr. Perfect was really a decent competitor and everything. So Mr. Perfect had it all in a way. His son, uh, when he won the Intercontinental Championship, it was a really strong moment. I mean, he even sat on the edge of the ring and looked up to the sky to him. So his dad was definitely there for him. Number 4. You might know him as a different name, but when he first came out into the business, his name was Rocky Maivia, and you might know him as Dwayne Johnson, or even as I like to refer him to, The Rock, the People's Champ. Yeah, if you're somebody what The Rock is cooking. So yeah, he's I mean, he's my all-time favorite wrestler. Him and Stone Cold is the ones that really got me into the business or understanding to really like the business. So, without putting him out here, it was wrong. So, yeah, number 4 was definitely Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock. Number 3. So, number 3 is none other than Razor Ramon. You know, uh, you never want to love the bad guy, but you always want to because you're supposed to hate the bad guy. But let me tell you, that guy could work as a bad guy. And he always brought the energy, the charisma, he wanted you to hate him, and he did so much stuff, and I just loved it. So his Intercontinental work was really really well. So Razor Ramon, also known as Scott Hall. So you might know him as Scott Hall, you might know him as Razor Ramon. I know him as both, of course, but other than that, really good guy. Wish he was still around, but it sucks to see him go. But Razor Ramon, you definitely made the top 10 list, and you number 3. Number 2. Number 2, a lot of people do not like this guy at all. But so when he first came into the business, I never really liked him. Um, but within the last, I want to say 3-4 years, I've really started to really like him. He's great on the mic. He's great telling stories. He's great at getting you to hate him. He's great at getting the other person to be over and to be liked. And you know, he does some of the slimiest stuff in the world. But yeah, it's awesome. So number 2 is none other than The Miz. That's right, The Miz. And I like the guy. So we'll get right into it. Number 10 through 2 before I go in my number 1. And number 10 was Jeff Jarrett. Number 9 was Triple H. Number 8 was Edge. Number 7 was Eddie Guerrero. Number 6 was Edge. Number 5 was Mr. Perfect. 4 was Rocky Maivia, aka The Rock. Number 3 was Razor Ramon. 2 was Miz. And there you have my 2 through 10. Now we're going to do a little bit of something different. I'm going to actually pass it over to Pat and to Tim to see what their honorable mentions are for the top 10 of my Intercontinental Championship thoughts are. So I'm going to pass it over to Tim first. Tim, go ahead and tell me what your honorable mentions are.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Tim here for my honorable mentions for the Intercontinental Champions. Coming in at number 3, I'm not really numbering them, but coming in, Dolph Ziggler, the greatest show, you know. At number 2, I'm coming in with Cody Rhodes. He kind of made the title relevant again, even though he lost at the Big Show at WrestleMania 28. And then at number 3, I have the Legend Killer, the WWE debut of Randy Orton beating Rob Van Dam to become the youngest champ to ever hold a title, Randy Orton.
Hey, Pat here with my runners-up for the Intercontinental Champions. So, I had the list, but I'm afraid I got a bit of bad news. No bad news, actually. Bad news, Barrett at number 3. And at number 2, I got something down here to kind of... It's the brass knuckles. That's right. William Regal, number 2. And at number 1, RVD, Rob Van Dam.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for sticking around. You got to hear Pat and Tim what their honorable mentions were, but my number 1's coming right up on the wall. So thank you. But I want to say thank you for spending time with me and listening to my top 10. It might be different than yours. It might be some of them the same. It might even have different. My number 1 might not be your number 1. It might be number 5. So please comment below. We love getting those comments. We love it. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to us, and you can always boost our confidence up, and you can even share it out because like I said, or not just me, but all of us, when we get 100 subscribers on YouTube, we're going to be giving a prize away to one of our lucky fans on a live episode. So be sure to get us out there, and because you might be that lucky fan. But let's get right into it. My number 1. Number 1. It is none other than the ring general, Gunther. He is the current Intercontinental Champion. See, this is the worst design I do not like of the Intercontinental Championship, but I want to tell you, Gunther doing a fabulous job. He's actually now the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion. He beat the Honky Tonk Man. So yeah, Gunther, you're doing a great job, and keep it up. The hard work. I'm proud of you. To come see from where you were when you were the NXT UK champion, to being as Walter coming into the NXT to come into WWE, you've done a fabulous job, and I'm proud of you. But that's why you're my number 1, honestly, is because you're the longest reigning champion and you're doing great work. If you didn't do great work, and even if you were the longest reigning champion, I don't know if I could put you out number 1, but you're doing fabulous work. So keep it up. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you can follow us on the good old X, aka Twitter. You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Hit the subscribe, hit the likes, hit the shares, hit the notifications that you get that something's coming in. Also, you don't forget you can listen to us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify Podcasts. Don't forget, every Tuesday we drop a new episode of the NFL weeks. We just wrapped up week 3, and I lost Tim in the quiz game show. Pat had some good questions, and of course, I had my mind blown. I couldn't say the name right, so yeah, there's that. But other than that, you got testing Tim's knowledge coming up in a couple of days on Sunday, and then don't forget, you can always follow us anywhere and everywhere on all kinds of social medias. Other than that, this is Tank signing off, and I'll see you all next Friday on another episode of Tank's Thoughts. Peace.